So as you can see, I'm still in Lincolnshire. No, that was a joke, obviously. I'm back in London. This is obviously Piccadilly Circus. I thought I'd come to central London today to try and take a few shots. You hear horrible stories in central London about, phones being snatched. And I'm walking around with two cameras, a video camera and a photo camera. And I'm a bit self-conscious, but I'm sure I'll be careful. So the rest of last week I stayed in Lincolnshire. My girlfriend Stacy lives in Lincoln, and so she was kind enough to have me there for the whole week. And so I traveled quite a bit, and I took a few pictures, but the light was, I felt that the light was against us last week, and some of them yeah man, fuck you. Yeah, as you can see, they tried to steal my camera, but they didn't manage. Yeah, just mentioned the possibility of somebody trying to snatch my cameras, and actually two guys on one of those bikes just came and out of nowhere. Luckily I heard them and I was able to move out of the way. And so for today's video I would like to show you some of my favorite pictures from last week in Lincolnshire. I also wanted to try and express a thought that has been on my mind for some time now, about the role of photography in our life. So I have no idea why I am attracted to things like cranes. Is there anything like crane photography? So I can't deny that the little adventure with the bikers who just zipped past left me a little bit, I don't want to say shaken, but a little bit wary and a little bit like on alert, I guess. So yeah, so now every time that I hear bikes or something that could resemble someone approaching, I turn very quickly and I'm very careful. You see, something like that I love. The way that building catches the sun, catches the light, and also the fact that the sky is blue. So this morning I left home quite early. I couldn't sleep past 6 o'clock, so I decided to get up and I left quite early. So I got to central London, I got to Piccadilly Circus where that little incident occurred with the bikes. I think I was there already at about 8 o'clock, possibly even earlier than 8 o'clock. And I was surprised how noisy and full of people Piccadilly Circus was already at 8 o'clock. Of course, not as noisy as it would be later, as it will be later. So I am in Green Park, and I was finally able to find a spot where it's not so noisy, and there's a bit of nature, which I love. And I also wanted to briefly talk about this thought that I've had about the role of photography in our lives, and the whole conversation about enjoying the process. I feel that since YouTube got bigger and since there are more photographers / content creators, the whole discussion about enjoying the process versus looking for the outcome, looking for results, has been really interesting in recent years, because of course in the past as a photographer you would be judged solely based on your pictures. So obviously if you were a wedding photographer, you know, your income would depend on how good your wedding photos were. The same for landscape photographers, etc., etc. But in recent years with YouTube, you get judged on how good you are at documenting the process of taking photos, and therefore the conversation about what the process is and the whole enjoyment with the process has become more current and more popular, I guess. One of my favorite photographers, James Popsis, is an amazing communicator and a great photographer. Talks about it in his videos quite often, how you should, you know, enjoy the process, because you have no control on the outcome, or your control of the outcome, in this case the pictures, is quite limited. So if you only had to enjoy photography when you take a good picture, then you would be in for a rough ride, because of course the amount of great pictures that every photographer, even good photographers, take are only a small percentage compared to all the pictures that they take. And so James was talking about how important it is to actually enjoy the process. So for instance, if you enjoy nature, you know, you enjoy being in nature, walking in nature with your camera, and that's your process, you enjoy that. And then on top of that, if you get good pictures, that's a bonus, that's fantastic. And I have to say, that's the way that I feel about photography. For me, photography has always been one of the ways that I have been expressing my creativity. So I enjoy working with my cameras, because I enjoy walking, I enjoy being in nature, of course. And so I think that we have become more sensitive to the idea of being in the moment. So this led me to thinking, what if the overall role of photography in the first place was to make us more sensitive, to make us more alert, more conscious, more aware of our states, our internal states, more aware of whether we like something, whether we are enjoying the moment. And therefore, in this sense, you could say that the outcome becomes the process, because in a way you could even argue that maybe our best pictures are given to us as like little precious gems, as a way to keep us anchored to the process and to keep us going on that road that we may perceive in the moment as the road that leads us to taking better photographs, but it could indeed be just a road that makes us better humans, because it teaches us to be more in the moment. It teaches us to be less reliant on quick gratification. Yeah, just a thought. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below, if you feel like. Before closing this video, I just wanted to show you some pictures that I took last week in Lincolnshire. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you will subscribe to my channel. If you did enjoy, please put a like and do subscribe. I would really love for this channel to grow. And have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next video.